Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee is a member of the Judiciary and Armed Services Committees. You must have heard what the president had to say about not signing the bipartisan bill unless he got this $6 trillion Democrat infrastructure plan as well. Your first reaction?
I think President Biden spoke what was truth to him and what they had been discussing in the White House and out of earshot of Republicans, and they see it as a 1-2 package, and Republicans were in there saying this is the package. So what you have is Biden not leveling with people, and Bernie then of course backing it up and saying you're not going to get this until I get what I want. And Bernie Sanders is now chairman of the Senate Budget Committee, and his goal is $6 trillion in spending. And John, what they're wanting in their bill is money for the Green New Deal, money for unions, money for electric car subsidies. They want money for bike paths and hiking trails. And what the American people want, and certainly what Tennesseans want, is to see money for roads and for bridges and interstates and railways and airports. They want to see money for broadband. But all of these other things, all of this that is human infrastructure, that does not belong in a surface transportation or an infrastructure bill.
That $6 trillion bill that the Democrats are talking about, would it get any Republican votes?
I don't think it would get any Republican votes. And the thing is, John, I don't think it's going to get support from the American people. I fully believe that these senators will be hearing from people that are saying, hey, wait a minute, you know, I have to tell you, I've heard from so many Tennesseans, even people that voted for Joe Biden because they thought he would bring calm. And what they are seeing is chaos like they've never seen. They've seen an eroding of our freedoms, and they're seeing spending that is socialistic in style and is going to burden our children and our grandchildren with the amount of debt that the Biden administration is piling up. He may even pile up more debt than Barack Obama did during his 8 years.
You need 60 votes to get most things done in the Senate, but under its sometimes arcane rules, you can get something called reconciliation, which allows a simple majority vote to pass a certain piece of legislation. Reconciliation to pass a $6 trillion bill seems like a stretch, and it sounds like West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin, who has been very pivotal in these negotiations, is not necessarily on board with it. Listen.
If they think in reconciliation, I'm going to throw caution to the wind and go to $5 or $6 trillion when we can only afford 1 or 1.5 or maybe 2, and what we can pay for, then I can't be there. I'm very, very openly. And I think we can find our priorities. We can help a lot of people and lift them up. But people have to get up and make an effort too. We all have to be fighting for the same great country that we live in.
The other items in this $6 trillion bill are sort of a wish list, it would seem, from Democrats.
It's a leftist wish list is what it is. These are things they have been pushing for decades, and they absolutely have not been able to get them. So they are willing right now to throw a long ball and then say, okay, we're going to go for this. This will be nirvana for us. It will mean that we will be in power from now on because we will have control of people in their lives. And it's like some of my Tennesseans that voted for Biden will say to me, you know, I voted for Joe Biden. I did not vote for Bernie Sanders, and I did not vote for this. And they're looking at inflation, what they're seeing at the grocery store, what they're seeing at the pump, what they're seeing in building materials. They are very nervous about what is going on right now. And they feel as if the left is out to radically transform this country, and they are beginning to push back. And John, we're seeing it whether it is critical race theory, whether it's the inflation, whether it is the assault on Second Amendment rights. The American people are beginning to push back, and I am so glad that they are.
Let's talk about another issue that seems to be top of mind for the American people, immigration, and specifically illegal immigration. A surprising poll out from Harvard and Harris. It suggests that when asked how serious an issue do you think illegal immigration is, 80% of Americans say they think it is a serious issue. Only 20% are saying not serious. Now, this comes at the end of the week that Vice President Harris made her trip to the border. She says that the Biden administration inherited a mess, a bad situation from the Trump administration. Your response?
Well, just because you say it doesn't make it so. President Donald Trump had worked with the Border Patrol and gave them 3 things they said that they needed. A border wall, then they needed better equipment and surveillance and more boots on the ground there at the southern border. They were able to get this situation under control, to get the amount of activity from the cartels down, and to slow the flow of illegal immigration. And now, with the Biden administration just ripping away all of the protocols, the Remain in Mexico protocol, and basically saying, come on in, what you are seeing is unprecedented activity, whether it is in sex trafficking, human trafficking, drug trafficking, MS-13 gangs, work crews. And now, John, every town is a border town. Every state is a border state because of the human trafficking and drug trafficking, the sex trafficking. It is the #1 issue with our local law enforcement and our county mayors, and every time I talk with them, which is regularly, they bring this up. And they want to see that border secured because it affects them. The moving of migrant children into communities in the dark of night, transferring the cost of education, health care, housing, child services for these traumatized individuals that have been abused by the cartel, transferring that cost to your local counties and your states. And this is why people are beginning to see it firsthand. They are demanding that something be done, and they cannot believe that the president and the vice president continue to say the border is closed and don't look here, there isn't an issue. And you know, Vice President Harris took her 93. Yeah.
We're going to have to leave it there, but we appreciate you coming on to tonight. Senator Marsha Blackburn, Republican of Tennessee, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.